This story comes from r/relationship advice, and the original poster is Hot Bub. My ex-roommate, 29 male, admitted he was still in love with me, 29 female, after 5 years when I told him I was seeing someone, 28 male. I live with my ex, Jay. We dated for 4 years, 5 years ago. We've lived together the entire time. Jay makes double the money I do and pays the entirety of our rent, $1,000. I pay for mostly everything else, $600, but we pay our own phone bills. Now I want to make it clear, Jay pays almost double what I do every month in bills. He pulls more than his fair share around here. I would agree the house is his. After he broke up with me, I waited for him for 5 years. We have our own rooms, haven't physically touched each other since, and only refer to each other as roommates. We sat down with my therapist and laid out exactly what our relationship was. We both agreed best friends who would live together. I do believe we have codependency issues and maybe a bit of a trauma bond. Enter L. We met online. I was upfront that I wasn't looking for a relationship and disclosed my entire situation. I never wanted to get caught up on a man ever again. But L is kind and funny and always so sweet and genuine. So my dumb ass went and fell in love. I wanted to tell Jay about L. I told him I started seeing someone long distance to try and figure out what type of boundaries he wanted to set up about it and what he felt comfortable with. He exploded at first, which I saw as a possibility because he has a pretty bad temper, but he calmed down very quickly. We set boundaries and even talked about finding him a partner too. 2 hours later, he told me I had to move out, or he would, that I made things weird and that I was only using him for everything he did for me. Obviously, that's not true. This man has been my best friend for almost a decade. Then he said he was still in love with me. Skirt! Stop the fucking record. That was something I never even caught a hint of. He made it so clear in so many ways, so many times, that we were not together. I can't reiterate that enough. So I tried to turn things back to how they were. I told him I broke up with L. I didn't. And we were going back to being just friends. We aren't. I also made it very clear to Jay that I no longer held any romantic feelings for him, Jay, whatsoever. L has agreed to stick with that story. Now our dogs, they're both over 10. One has congestive heart failure and the other bad joints. I am not ever under any circumstance leaving my babies. They are my whole life, my children. Jay also doesn't want to lose them because he cares for them as well. So he half-heartedly agreed I could stay until our babies croaked. TLDR, have a long-distance boyfriend who I'm madly in love with, a best friend roommate who's in love with me, and 2 dogs I refuse to be separated from and can't take with me. How do you think I should proceed with this? What outcome would be the best for everyone? I'm too lost in the sauce to actually see things clearly, I think. Edit. Laugh my ass off. Why is everyone so intent on misunderstanding my living situation? He makes one payment to the rental office of $1,000. I think his mom pays his phone, but even if she didn't, he would be paying $1,050 every month. I buy everything else. That's about $600 depending on the month, and if the dogs need to go to vet plus my phone bill. See how it's split? That's how we have run the household we've had since we were 19 and dating. I live in one room in the 3-bedroom house he pays all the rent on, and he wipes his ass with my toilet paper and eats my food. We share the kitchen and laundry. We got the dogs together at 20 when we were dating. Same dogs we have now that we're no longer dating. I understand he pays all the rent, but Jesus fucking Christ, it's because it's my responsibility to buy everything else you need to live in a 2-person household. He pays $400 more to live here than I do. He gets the rest of the house to himself. Is that worth $400? Probably fucking not. But it's how we do it. Could I give him more money to make things even? No, I do not make enough. Could he afford to live here without me? No, because he doesn't make enough. So what would you have had me do to not be a moocher? Find a cheaper place? I tried, he didn't want to. Find another roommate? Oh, I tried that too, he said no. So please tell me, if you were in my situation, freshly 19, no family, nowhere to go, how exactly would you have balanced my budget to not be a moocher? JFC, if he didn't want to pay more than me, there were several things we could have done to even things out, but he did not want to. It has always made me uncomfortable, every month. But that's just how things are. That was not even the point of the story. And I lied to him because he's scary. He yells. He hits things. Not because I'm trying to snag a handout. I didn't want to deal with him yelling at me all night, so I told him I broke up with the dude he was yelling at me about and saying that in the post wouldn't have changed the advice I got. I have decided to pack up my things and my dogs and go. Thanks so much for your help. First comment, by Vialu. I hope this comes off more harsh truth and less random person on the internet being a fucking asshole. You are making a lot of really bad, really selfish decisions. So is your ex. This is going to blow up in both of your faces. You need to line up a new place to live or help pay the rent. You need to tell the truth. You guys are using the dogs as an excuse to keep this fucked up thing going. Response by OP, yes. I can see how that could be the case. Okay, I think the overall consensus is to move out. I can do that. I will do that. Jay won't be able to afford this place alone. Is that my problem to worry about? No, right. Comment by Intelligent Run 4007. You said he pays over 2 times what you pay and that you pay various bills, and your only example was a phone bill. I doubt that Jay can't afford the place on his own. You've just lied to yourself enough for you to believe that, so you wouldn't feel like shit mooching off of him. Response by OP. Oh, I meant double, but it's technically a little less than double. So he pays $1,000 for rent, and I pay approximately $600? Maybe. For food, dog food, various household essentials, vet bills, dog pills, my pills, his pills. It all adds up to around $600. We are very poor, unfortunately. I just felt I needed to include that part so people get the full picture of my living situation and all he does for me, because I think that might change some people's perspectives. It seems that OP is getting heavily downvoted with their responses. Let's check out some other comments. Second top comment by Math Hatter. What did I just read? OP, if this is real, you are setting yourself up for total disaster here. He's going to catch you in your lie and things are going to blow up in the worst way. Your decision-making and judgment are highly suspect. Choosing to live for 5 years with an ex you are secretly in love with? What? Get yourself out of that house. Find yourself a new place to live. Have your dogs halftime. Get into therapy to understand why you make such bad decisions. Edit to add, okay, yeah, I heard I waited for 5 years to mean that you were waiting for him to come around and ask you to be his girlfriend again. But if you mean that you intentionally avoided dating for 5 years to avoid upsetting him instead of moving out to live your life, that is almost as bad a sign about your decision-making. Response by OP, okay, move out, yes. I will start putting that into motion. We'll probably have to wait for my sister to wake up to get a second head on this and make a good plan. Dogs halftime? Okay, that's a good idea. It's not me who was secretly in love, it was him. I meant he had 5 whole years to tell me that, because that's how long I waited to start talking to someone. But I think that's just semantics at this point. And trust me, there is a therapist, a mentor, and a psychiatrist. This unfortunately happened super late at night, so all my confidants were sleeping. But maybe that's a good thing, because I needed the unbiased advice. Third top comment is from Chrisabel. Wow, that's a lot to unpack. Honestly, it sounds like you need to set some boundaries with Jay to protect yourself and your new relationship. Since he admitted he's still in love, it's going to be hard for both of you to just pretend everything's fine. Maybe start looking for a new place. That way you can have your space while figuring out your feelings for Elle without the weirdness at home. Keeping the dogs should be a priority, so maybe you could work out a shared custody plan if it comes to that. But honestly, it might be healthier to get out of that living situation so you can really move on with your life. Prioritize your happiness and mental health. Okay, nefariousness. 1,101 ads. This is a troll Akidan. 6 months ago, she was 30 and had 2 kids. OP responds, okay, just commenting this because I want more advice and opinions, but people thinking I'm a troll is not going to foster that. That was a post I made for my pregnant sister, who is a year older than me, about whether she should get a second cerclage BC. She had an incompetent uterus and had a miscarriage at 22 weeks in like 2018. I believe, which obviously fucked her up real bad. That would be such an odd troll post, but IDK what they're into, so maybe it fits. So anyways, she was scared, and her doctor said that incompetent uteri, vary every pregnancy, so she would likely be fine, and it was up to her whether or not she got one. That just sounded weird to us, BC. Surely he should have told her what to do and not have left the decision up to her. So I thought I'd post on Reddit for her to maybe get something more concrete from other ladies who have had a cerclage before. It didn't yield any results, unfortunately. But she didn't end up getting one and had a healthy baby girl named Zoya last month, so now I have 2 nephews and a niece. Okay, back to your regular scheduled programming of me being a filthy, lying fucking mooch. Damn, that was such a harsh fucking wake-up call. But I do think bad people maybe deserve to feel bad. Do you guys not post random questions for your family members who don't use Reddit? I didn't think it was a weird thing to do. I mean, why would I only have one post being a 30-year-old mom and the rest about just one person? And I could have deleted other things if I was trying to look legit, but why would I have so many posts of being the same person if I was trying to troll? And now you guys are going to see all the weird shit I post on the Taylor Swift subreddit, please. I fear we have lost the plot. I kind of want to hear this story from the point of view of the ex-boyfriend. Something about this entire arrangement seems off from how OP is describing their relationship. But if it is true and OP isn't lying, then they are both making a ton of mistakes that could result in physical altercation. By her own admission, he is prone to outburst, and it seems like they should have split ways a long time ago. Lingering in the same living situation with your ex for a long time just seems like a natural invitation for disaster if one of you tries to move on romantically. And the fact that he admitted that he still has romantic interest in OP after finding out she might be moving on leads me to believe that she may have known he still had lingering interest in her, and that she was using that to her advantage to avoid moving out. I imagine other commenters got that vibe as well, since there were many comments asking about the financial breakdown of their living arrangement. But who knows, we only have her side of the story. So tell me what you think of the story down in the comments below. I'm signing off, stay safe out there.